Hi friends, today is Thursday, September 17th, reading with Principal Rabb-Patterson. We're going to read Curious George, Farm to Table. And it's curious about where food comes from. Here we go. Curious George from Farm to Table, based on the TV series Teleplay written by Ken Scarborough. George was helping his friend Marco make his famous tortillas from his abuela's birthday dinner. George reached for a bag on the windowsill, but it accidentally fell to the ground. "Don't worry, George," said Marco. "That's the masa, or cornmeal. We use it to make tortillas. I'm sure we have more." Marco looked in the cupboard. "Uh-oh, I thought we had more," he said. George had an idea. He knew exactly where they could find the masa Marco needed. They walked to the local grocery store and asked the store clerk, "Masa?" "Oh, I'm sorry, I just sold the last bag. But I promised my grandmother I would make tortillas for her birthday," said Marco. "Beep, beep. You're in luck. The delivery man is here," said the store clerk. "My Uncle Enrique." Marco explained. "Let's ask him for more masa." "Uncle Enrique, today is Abuela's birthday. I want to make her tortillas, but don't have any masa," said Marco. "No masa? I don't have any on my truck, but I know where we can get some," said Uncle Enrique. "My job is to deliver food from the warehouse to the grocery store," Uncle Enrique explained. "Let's drive to the warehouse to get more masa." Unfortunately, the warehouse manager said they did not have any masa. "I'm waiting for a shipment, but hold on." She took them to a different part of the warehouse. "You might find one bag up there," she said, pointing to the top shelf. Luckily, George was an expert climber. When he reached the top, he saw the masa. George had saved the day. With the bag tucked under his arm, George started to climb down the shelf. "Wait, George, toss the masa to me," shouted Uncle Enrique. "I'll catch it." George tossed the bag. Just then the warehouse manager yelled, "Watch out!" to another employee. Distracted, Uncle Enrique looked away and the bag fell to the ground and burst open. As they left the warehouse, Uncle Enrique said, "I'm sorry, Marco. Abuela won't have tortillas for her birthday. It's all my fault." They climbed back into the delivery truck. George looked at the back of the empty bag. He pointed to the picture. "George, you're right. That's the mill where they make the masa. There's even an address, and it's not too far away," said Uncle Enrique. They decided to drive to the mill. Inside the mill, a worker showed them how masa is made. Grains like corn and wheat come into the mill and are cleaned and inspected. Then the grains are put into a grinder and come out as cornmeal or flour. Next, it is sifted to remove the parts we don't need. Finally, the cornmeal or flour is bagged and shipped to the warehouse. "Could we have one bag of masa?" asked Uncle Enrique. "I'm sorry, our corn comes from local farmers, but there wasn't enough rain this year, and the drought delayed the corn harvest. No corn, no masa." George knew a local farmer who grew corn. He even stored rainwater for his crops. George pointed the way to the Rankinsons' farm. "Thanks to my water tank, we stored enough water to get through the season. I harvested corn all day today," said Farmer Rankin. Farmer Rankin was happy to help. He gave them fresh and dried corn. They took the dried corn to the mill, where it was ground into masa and put into bags. While Uncle Enrique took the bags to the warehouse to be packaged for the grocery stores, George and Marco took one bag home to make tortillas. George now understood that the food in the stores come from farmers like his friend Mr. Rankins. At last, Marco was able to make his famous tortillas for his abuela's birthday dinner. The whole family loved them. George did too. And this is just a page. Green thumb. George and Marco learned that the masa in the grocery store comes from corn grown by farmers like Mr. Rankins. Test your green thumb by creating your own mini greenhouse. And this says if you get an egg carton, You put soil inside of each of the egg cartons with vegetable seeds, water, plastic wrap, and clear plastic bag that you can fill these up, and then you can watch the little green sprouts, and you could grow your own, have your own little mini greenhouse. Once the plants are big enough here, you then transfer them into your garden. All right, and that was Curious George, Farm to Table. Hopefully you enjoyed the story. Have a good evening, friends. Bye-bye.